Alright, we are recording. This will probably be a short one because it's a very short chapter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages. Actually, more like 5 because of not filling out complete pages. Anyway, titled Revelation, and it's just, initially Mace talking with Yoda, Anakin coming in, telling the news about, Palpatine and the decision to go. So initially when Mace and Yoda are talking, it's about, the report that Grievous has been killed. Okay, fine. That makes sense. But it says that, so the war's won. It's like, that's actually not how that works. Yes, Grievous was their military supreme commander, but there would be other commanders. And technically, until there's actually the surrender there, or the complete conquering, domination, subjugation, it's still an act of war. So, yeah. I'm sorry. It's just one of those that's not how this works. So you really shouldn't do it that way. I mean, it makes sense that it would follow shortly thereafter, but I mean, at least for VE Day with World War II, that's actually a few days after Hitler committed suicide. So it's like that's kind of akin to what was here, but it was still days later that you actually had the formal surrender and such. And I'm sorry. It seems very technical, but it's like it's very much the war isn't done. Yeah. And the idea that, now we can ask Palpatine to return the emergency powers to end the emergency. It's like, well, no, the war isn't done yet. In fact, doing that may prompt whoever would succeed Grievous and Dooku to be like, they think that we're beaten. Let's push even harder now. Let's get what we can before arriving at the negotiating table. So it's really dumb. Anyhow. So, I've talked previously about the whole Mace has this special ability that though he doesn't necessarily know the full context, he's able to look at people and see if they are a shadow point or not. That's basically see the linkings between people and and a lot of links, the significance of the links he can sense, so he can tell how important this is. And that Anakin, he comes in and is fear alone has basically caused him to be nearly catatonic, it seems, and incredibly weak, as though he has been wounded. And he is emotionally wounded. But anyway, Mace, when doing this to look at Anakin, sees that he is the shadow point. It's not that he is connected to the people. No, everything rides on him. So what does Mace do with this knowledge? Nothing. The mic's right there. He does nothing with it. No, seriously, he doesn't. He doesn't tell Anakin. He doesn't explain to Anakin. There's like, look, Anakin, you are the chosen one. You've known this for a while, but I need you to understand something. Do you know what my gift is? Yes, Master? Good. Right now, I see everything hinges on you. Everything hinges on you. You are the chosen one. Seems it is your time to choose. Okay? I'm saying, you need to have this, seriously, Mace needs to have this discussion. Alright? This is galactic level importance, and it's even... it's... Okay, yeah. Mace said slowly, with the same sort of deliberate care he would use in examining an unknown type of bomb that might have the power to destroy the universe itself. Anakin, look at me. I was like, it's just focus on me. But no explanation, no communication. The dude's an idiot. I mean, seriously, he is. It's so stupid. It's like, I have this incredibly important piece of information that is specifically relevant to you. You need to understand just how significant everything is right now. Everything hinges on you, and I'm not going to tell you a damn thing. I'm not even going to let you know that's the situation right now. I mean, because there's also an element of Anakin is in a position, mentally and emotionally, that even though this is Mace Windu, could still be, if Mace asks him anything, Anakin probably has no ability to lie to him, no ability to keep a secret, would completely acknowledge the marriage with Padme, the expecting of, well, he thinks one baby, but we know two. And she should know. That is... I just want to add that legitimately, it has bothered me since before in this explaining that they have done some scans, but don't want to know sex. It's like, it's longer than that it has annoyed me, the whole, she needs to know they're twins. But anyhow. And it's just one of those, okay. You know, like, Mace now is told this, and Mace you'd expect to be kind of rigid on this, but I could see it completely being a, Anakin, it's okay. There is no concern of that right now. Maybe you'll have to leave the order, maybe not. But that's for later. Right now, what is your choice? What is your choice right now? Because everything hinges on it. Are we going to, the Jedi going to win here? Are we going to have the side of good? Are we going to have the Republic survive? Or is it going to be Palpatine that lives? And that controls the Republic? We cannot both. We cannot both survive here. One is going to have to win. I need you to tell me, what is your choice? Which side do you want to win? Because I have a feeling if you do that, it would do a couple things at least. One is it'll focus Anakin down. I think it's reasonable. It would calm him down such that he can at least start getting into the mindset of, I'm a Jedi, there's a Sith, I need to go and deal with this. At minimum, it should do that. Okay? But it might also be okay, you're right. This is literally the good versus evil dilemma. Good versus evil decision. I need to decide good. I need to decide. It could also be, like, if he's like, I'm afraid that my wife will die in childbirth. It's like, wife and child, okay. But we're going to put that aside. Anakin, there is not anything this Jedi Order will not do to preserve life. Okay? We fight the war to save people from dying in it. We will do everything to help you. You know this. And I am telling this. I'm saying that's what we need to be having it. And none of that. Just... Not only that, but I may have already said this, because of how afraid he is, how filled with fear Anakin is, Mace decides, not going to take you with us. Anakin, wait in the council chamber until we get back. What, Master? That's an order, Anakin. But the Chancellor, what are you going to do? Only as much as I have to. Anakin only wants him arrested. He still has some love for the man. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. And it is also technically what the Jedi view should be. That they should have a love even for the Sith, for all persons, all life. It's just that, yes, in some cases you do have to make the decision to end a life. It sucks, but technically that is what they should be doing. So only as much as I have to, meaning we're going to go there to stop him. He surrenders, we can arrest him, he's stopped. That's it, we don't go further. But if he attacks, if he refuses to surrender, we're going to kill him. Or at least try to. But it still is Anakin is so important. Don't sidelight him. You can't ignore him. That's ignoring the importance here. So it really makes Mace an idiot. To be like, no, you're not coming. It's like, it could just be come, but Anakin, unless you are ready, only watch. Stand back. That's like, yeah, I will not keep you away from this. But if you are not ready to be involved with this, then just watch. I'm saying that Mace's decisions are dumb here. They truly are. And that ends the what was it? Seduction. Part 2 is named Seduction. Part 3, Apocalypse, which is actually a little amusing because chapter 16, the one this video is about, is Revelation. Apocalypse is Greek for Revelation. That's why it is sometimes called the Book of Apocalypse or the Book of Revelation. It's the same thing. People tend to associate apocalypse with meaning the end of the world, but no, it's actually, in terms of the Bible, meant to be when God's plan is finally revealed, which would involve the end of mortal existence because of entering into heaven and eternal existence. All that stuff. But yes, the final revelation of his plan, of his intent. Alright, I'm just trying. I want to see if I can check. I'm pretty sure it is Seduction. Part 1 was titled Victory. Hang on. Okay, no, I'm too far back. Yep, it's a little bit further. I think it was chapter 8 or 9 that was the transition. I'm in chapter 7. Okay, yes. Yes, part 2 was Seduction. Okay. So, yeah, and we got decent amount left. I'm also going to quickly see. We got another one of the poem things. That'll be next part, next video. Okay. I'm just looking to see if there's anything. And then just about the authors. Okay. Huh. Sorry. Just about the authors here. The one for this one, Matthew Stover, says he's a New York Times bestseller author of 5 previous novels. It's like, it's one of those unfortunate things where I'm not sure how far back it goes, but New York Times bestselling. I'm not saying this to insult him, but there are some oddities to how that works that essentially publishers can arrange to have them. Like it's based on certain metrics, not total number of sales, but it's like certain. And it's been a while since I'd seen this, but it's basically like they only monitor certain warehouses that purchase up books. So if there are other places that books are sold through than those warehouses, you could see 1 million books, sell 1 million of a book sold in one place. There's only 10,000 in another, but the 10,000 one will be the New York Times bestseller. Here, let me put it like this: if any of my books were to sell 10,000, technically at 10,000, that's supposed to be a bestseller. That actually is the standard. If you hit that, that's considered a bestseller. But if that would have happened because they're all print on demand just through Amazon, it would never be on a New York Times bestseller list. Even if it sold, any of them sold 100,000, same thing. So it is when those it gets wonky. But anyway, 5 previous novels, including Star Wars Shatterpoint, which I find interesting. I'm guessing that relates a lot to Mace because he's using the same language of Shatterpoint. Star Wars: The New Jedi Order, Traitor. Hang on. Yes, Star Wars: The New Jedi Order: Traitor is all one title, based on I think they're using semicolons to separate, which is correct. It's still just weird. I think they would have been better off if they used quotes to separate things. Heroes Die in the Blades of Tishel? Not entirely sure. Which, hey, cool, awesome. He's got at least 3. No, sorry. Just it is weird how long that one is. How long that one title is. So he's got at least 2 like extended universe books before this. Heroes Die in the Blades of Tishel. I'm not sure, but here's the thing that made me a little surprised. He's an expert in several varieties of martial arts. It's like, but you started with all that nonsense for the fight with Dooku. I'm sorry. It's just maybe it's he. I don't know. Sorry, I just want to see how long this is going, but it just seems odd to me. Because, I mean, I did fencing. Technically, that is a kind of martial art. Only one, but it still is. Would I, when writing a story, get into certain things? Like, would I talk about thrusts? Sure. Would I talk about slashes? Sure. Would I talk about lunges? Sure. Everyone understands those. Would I talk about fleshing, which is basically you thrust and then continue going forward? It's a skill I never got good at. It was funny. Did actually know one guy who said, I'm going to teach you how to do this. He never did. But in any case, it was kind of like that on the fencing team for me. Jim, going to make sure we teach you this. Okay. Never hear anything on it again. To be fair, could I have been better with such special attention? Maybe. But otherwise, no. I was just a relatively competent body there, and I would just be moved around to wherever they needed me to be, and I was fine with that. Anyhow, I wouldn't start throwing around terms like the different names for fighting styles that he did in the initial fight with Dooku that have no meaning to a reader that either isn't reading the expanded universe books or is just otherwise like reading this because of the movie, and that's it. Because I would have said back in those videos, I don't care. I mean, it doesn't add anything to the book. It makes it actually boring because it's kind of a distraction. I'm just trying to think of a way to put it. I guess this might be a way to put it. And it is also true, I don't pay attention to a lot of this stuff, but it would be like if you were watching a mixed martial arts competition, and somebody narrating it is just going through and naming all of them, but you don't follow mixed martial arts, you don't really know any martial arts. Like, recognize some names, karate, taekwondo, things like that. But the person who's getting technical and giving you all this stuff is like, I don't care, I'm just watching the sport. It's kind of like that. And part of the reason why I think Attack of the Clones, the ending of Attack of the Clones, was better, where it was talking more about just fencing versus non-fencing. It's simple. The context is provided. Princess Bride. The context is provided to what was being said during Wesley's and Inigo's fight. He was like, here are all these technical details as though any of them matter, and they don't. So, and context wasn't given. So anyway, that I do just find curious that such effort and time was spent on that, and I would have hoped that somebody with that much knowledge would also recognize that plenty of people don't have that knowledge, plenty of people don't have that interest. So yeah, that I don't know. I'm just trying to think what would be an equivalent thing for me, because I do have special knowledge in various things. LaTeX, mildly in SQL. Video processing, I got that. If I'm writing stuff about that, I am very active in actually trying to make sure it is simple and approachable. I could get technical. Oh boy, could I get technical on some of that stuff. But I'm not going to, because the majority of people aren't going to care. So yeah, and it's just, maybe it is, I'm just guilty of assuming that other people think like that as well, think like me. And I know that's something that, in some cases, I do that, and I know I shouldn't. In other cases, I don't do it, but I wish I could. Sometimes it's annoying to be unique amongst everyone you know. Anyhow, and by that I just mean I don't know anyone else who uses LaTeX, no one else who uses SQL, no one else who does video processing stuff such that I can talk about the nuances of any of those topics. So I have to avoid all that because no one cares. All right, so we have 5 chapters left. Hang on. Yes, Apocalypse is the name of the next part. The next chapter is The Face of the Dark. Yeah, so we've got, let me just see. Based on the movie, we have Palpatine, them going to arrest Palpatine slaughtering them, except for Mace, who Anakin gets there, we know how all that goes. Assault on the Temple. Order 66? I don't remember what the order is to slaughter the Jedi, which that will happen prior to or at the same time as the Jedi Temple being attacked. Probably a chapter, well yes, definitely a chapter with Obi-Wan somehow making it back to Coruscant undetected. Yoda as well. It'll be a calm chapter. They do their research at the temple, talking, then one meeting with Padme. Then we'll probably have a chapter that will be the fight at Mustafar and the fight in the Senate chambers. And then a wrapping up chapter that will have, my guess would be the actual, well, wait, no. Because the forming of the Galactic Empire, that happens earlier. That'll happen prior to the attack on the Jedi Temple. But you'll still probably have a wrapping up chapter with Vader's suit, the birth of the children being sent to their respective adoptive families. So, yeah. Still got a fair bit of pages to go, so be interesting to see how long they end up being. Anyway, hey, I stretched it to past 20 minutes. See you next time.